Well, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's Thursday. D Scraps, E Scraps. Hostess with the mostest, Scrappy D. So, I've been to the scrapyard. I thought we'd talk a little bit about increasing the value of some of the boards, and I would share a little bit with you about some of the pricing that I came across this morning. So I found this ticket on the outside of this power supply, and tested August 10th, 2012. Wow. This older vintage stuff is very high in copper and gold and palladium. These are really, really good boards to be able to get rid of, to sell. They're really great for your buyer who does recovery. What they'll do is they'll take this board and they'll throw it into a shredder. They'll probably depopulate it first, and then they'll throw it into a shredder. And in the shredder, they add different chemicals to separate gold, silver, palladium, copper, whatever the precious metals are. That's why I remind you guys not to leave the round nickel-cadmium batteries on there, because if that's going through the shredder, it could certainly start a fire, and we wouldn't want to do that. So, 2012. So that means this is actually even older than that. So I took a ride out to Meriden this morning, and I did sell my wire. This particular place does 90% of their business is wire, which is why I drive out there, because they have a lot of different grades of wire, and they really do pay very well for wire, better than anybody else in the state. So this is spaghetti wire. This is what you get out of your computer. This is like 35% recovery. It's the lowest of the lowest for grades. This is the next grade up. This is 60% recovery. I think that's the number. There's a lot of copper and not a lot of plastic. So this is what you'll get in most of your power supplies, electrical equipment, things like that. It'll hold the shape. So you want to make sure you separate this from this, which I did. Also cat wire, you want to make sure you separate that as well. So separate your wireage as best you can. You'll get better value. Otherwise, what'll happen is they'll take all of this wire that you bring them, they'll dump it in a bin, and they'll pay you for this, even if you're bringing in this. So just make sure you're careful with that. Cable Management has like 5 different categories of wire, and I did separate it, and that was 10 cents a pound difference. So just make sure you separate your wires. I couldn't believe I had a whole big garbage can full of wires just from all the computers we did the past couple days. So LG wire, 20 pounds, $10.80, 54 cents a pound. I don't really know what the differentiations are and all that, but it doesn't matter. Tablets, we had 3 pounds of tablets for $2.10. Power supplies without wires, 15 cents a pound, $7.80 on those. Hard drives without boards, 68 pounds, $17. Painted clean aluminum, they were 35 cents a pound. My Arden Derby is at 45 cents a pound. But that's okay. Again, you're going to get that variance. Laptops, which is really what I went out there to get rid of, was my laptops. I had a lot of laptops. And they bought them for 80 cents a pound. 87 pounds of laptops got me $70. And then the thicker wire, 62 pounds for $33.48. So it was worth it to get the extra money for the wire. It really was. I sold the batteries and the aluminum to my local yard, just because I got a little bit more money for it, and it was closer. So I sold the 1 yard, filled up the gas gas tank and then drove up to the other yard. But yeah, the guys at Cable Management are really nice. It's a warehouse. You drive in, there's 5 or 6 scales. You know, they show you everything as they put it in, and they come out and they help you. They're really very polite, very courteous. I can't wait for them to start buying more e-scrap materials. I hope they do. But anyway, so that was a good drive. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about upgrading maximizing your value. Sorry, I'm really sniffy today for some reason. I hope I'm not coming down with something. I've got the closing on the house tomorrow. I'm not allowed to be sick. So, I took this apart this morning. And, well, actually this afternoon. So, I got this board out of the side. There's another one over here. You know, we work hard as scrappers. So why not maximize our value? If I were to take this board, just as it sits, I'd throw it in with my low-grade boards, which is what I'd get for it, and I'd get 20 cents a pound. This part of the board, that is a high-grade peripheral board all day, every day, without this on it. You've got this, you've got IC chips, you got tantalums, you got everything. And that's a lot of gold recovery on the back too. But nobody's going to buy that as a high-grade board, peripheral board. Remember, peripheral simply means it's not a motherboard. Simple as that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to this for a while till I get a nice day. Then I'm going to go outside, way away from the house. I'm going to put on a respirator, and I'm going to cut this board. I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to throw this into low grades, and I'm going to put this into my high-grade boards, my high-grade peripheral boards. That pays $3.49 a pound, by the way, guys. So why would I throw this whole board in for low grade at 20 cents a pound when I can just go and make more money on it? Don't do it in the house. You can actually get metal toxicity poisoning from breathing in the fumes from this. It's very, very dangerous. You can really get sick. It makes a mess in your house, and the smell, it smells like somebody was peeling out with a car in the middle of your hallway. It's nasty, and it sticks to everything. So it's not worth it for a couple of cents to do this in the house. I wouldn't, and I wouldn't do it without a mask, and I wouldn't do it without being outside. Okay, so I'm going to save that for a sunny day. The other thing I can get off of this actually there's another one over here. This is the other board, this is another board that came out of this, and I'm going to do the same thing. I could throw this whole thing in just like it is. I could throw it into low-grade boards. I can get 20 cents a pound. Okay, well, you know, if I didn't care, maybe I would, but I work, you know, there's just not a lot of e-scrap out there. Why not maximize your value? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut this. That's a high-grade peripheral all day. Front and back. Well, back's kind of rubbishy, but the front is great. I'm going to get this piece of aluminum off. I'll just unscrew it there. And then undo these screws. These are copper MOSFETs. Some people save them. You can do that, but you definitely want to take that piece of aluminum off. Cut this, throw this in with your low-grade boards, and put that in with your high-grade peripherals. This is extruded. This is extruded aluminum. You should get 50 cents a pound right now for this. You might get more. I'm hanging on to it with the tariffs and everything. I think aluminum, steel's already started to go up a little bit. I'm going to hang on to it till I get a good bunch, and then I'll cash it in all at once. I'm not in a hurry. I've only just started getting a bunch of this, and as a matter of fact, this is where I'm getting it from. So this I'll probably save, but what they said, because I asked them, I said, why aren't the heat sinks out of the computers considered extruded? He said, they're not thick enough. I said, oh, come on. Extruded means it's gone through a form and it has a shape because it's been put through a press, like Play-Doh. You remember the Play-Doh presses? Maybe you're not that old. I am. But this is very thick. So this is extruded aluminum all day, every day. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I think I weighed it. It's about 4 pounds. So that's about $2.40 worth of aluminum there. So why would I throw $5 worth of aluminum away with a low-grade board? It's very easy to get off. These things are sharp as, guys, so be careful when you're handling them. They'll unscrew right here. Unscrew the MOSFETs. And these are copper, so you want to take those off. You can get these nice gold pins off of here. In this case, I'm going to leave the toroids on for weight. I got these out of the same, I get these out of the same board, they were over here. So, but there's nothing else on this board. I'll snip these wires, of course, but there's nothing else on this board. So I'll smash these toroids off and I'll process them. Again, I'll do that outside. This is made of, underneath this is ferrite, ferrous, iron, steel. Very sooty, very black, very messy. Don't breathe it in. You can take a angle grinder and just cut these, or you can squish them in a vise and they'll just break right here and you can harvest the copper. Again, that's just something I'll do outside. You know, I scrap for a hobby, not to get myself sick over it. It's not worth it. So I've got quite a few of these down in the basement. Again, you could sell them with small motors if you wanted to, or transformers. You know, that's up to you. But if you want to harvest the copper, you certainly can. Just not in the house. That can go over there, that can go over there. So, optional if you want to nip these off. It's a real pain in the AWS to get these off. They're too hard. They're very hard to get off. You have to hammer them. It's going to make a mess. I'm going to leave it on this board for weight. I'm going to take the aluminum, take the aluminum, take the aluminum, take the gold pins, gold pins, gold pins, and there's another set over here. Then I'll throw the rest in with low-grade boards. So, you know, you can certainly increase your value even on a power supply scrap out. I'll probably take this piece of copper off. I think that's about it for today's video. There's not a lot going on. Closing on the house tomorrow morning, I hope. And, yeah, there's a lot of people sick, so wash your hands, wear a mask. Just everybody's sick. Matter of fact, my music school, it's closed this afternoon because I've got sick teachers and sick kids, and yeah, it is what it is. Sort your wires, take your copper, take your aluminum. Don't be afraid to cut a board. Just do it outside. Is that really all I have to say today? Gee. Well, I don't know where I threw it, but there was a gold pinned connector in here. I threw that in with my gold pin connectors. So try and maximize your value. You know, don't get ridiculous with it because it's not worth it. Take, 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 take. I'm going to leave that for weight. I'm going to take that one. Don't do it in the house. That's about all she wrote, I guess. Have a great day. Stay wonderful.